Welcome to our home in rural Bulgaria, where time seems to have stood still. We're an English couple called Susan and Jeff, and we've lived in Bulgaria for 9 years now. We actually bought our first property here nearly 20 years ago, but we've managed to live here full time since we took early retirement in 2016. Our dream has always been to be as self-sufficient as possible. We're currently restoring a small abandoned homestead. We live here with our 12 rescue animals. Hello, so we thought we'd do something a little bit different today. We thought we'd tell you a little bit more about ourselves and how we came to move over here.
I was a project manager back in the UK and got made redundant and got a redundancy package. And we wondered what to do with it. We thought about conservatories, but a new car, but we knew we would just squander it if it was just left in the bank. So after a long heart to heart, we decided that it would be nice to try and buy something in the sun. Although we didn't have a lot of money, we looked around, and most of the countries like France, Spain, Portugal were all out the question anyway, and someone suggested looking at Romania and Bulgaria. So we decided to have a look, found some properties that were in our price bracket, came over to look at them. We knew absolutely nothing about Bulgaria, couldn't speak the language, but were lucky enough to find an estate agent, a real estate agent as they call them over here, who spoke English. And we eventually ended up buying a house in central Bulgaria. The houses that we originally picked out from the internet ended up being not suitable. But then the estate agent said they had one house that had just come on the market, and they didn't even have details printed up, but she would show us if we liked. So we said yes. She took us there and we fell in love with the house, and the rest is history.
After we purchased our home here, we used to come across twice every year for two weeks at a time. We'd spend 1 week renovating and 1 week having an actual holiday, and we did that for 10 years before we actually moved here full time. In England, I was employed as a social worker. I absolutely loved my job, but it was very stressful, especially so as I have quite a severe visual impairment. One day, I was at home listening to the radio, and I heard an old interview with Tony Benn. In the interview, he was talking about modern-day slavery and how, if you have a mortgage, you're actually a slave to that mortgage. Both Jeff and I had been married for 25 years to our previous partners, and because they'd left and caused us severe financial detriment in the process of doing that, we both had to start all over again, and we had quite a large mortgage in our 50s. I had an epiphany, and I realised that I was probably going to die attempting to pay this huge mortgage. And I thought to myself, why on earth am I doing this when I can just go and live in a house I already own outright in the sun? Jeff was having his own problems at work, so when he came home from work, we discussed it. We prayed about it, we discussed it with friends and family members. People seemed to fall into two camps. Some people were really happy for us and thought it was a great idea, and other people were quite frankly downright jealous. So we made the intrepid step of moving over here for a year. We decided we'd test it out for a year before we actually sold our home. We found ourselves paying less for a whole year's worth of water than we were paying for 1 month back in Cornwall. And of course, everything else is cheaper also. Once we'd sold our home, we went out and bought 2 beautiful apartments on the Black Sea coast. One of the things you need to watch out for when you retire is that you actually find something to occupy your time. It's really important to have something to get up for in the mornings. These 2 apartments we rented out as Airbnbs, one of them just in summertime and the other one all year long. Having a purpose, a plan for your life, is one of the main reasons we started this YouTube channel. Just to spread the word about Bulgaria and what an amazing place it is to live. I initially started to blog because I love to write, and I'd just read A Year in Provence. I was inspired to write of our own lives here, as there are so many similarities to Mail's text. A pride in ancient traditions and their culture and heritage. Amazing scenery, gastronomic delights and homemade Bulgarian wine. Strong family values and the importance of good neighbours. But the thing we love the most is the rustic traditional lifestyle. So many things haven't changed here for centuries, and we think this is amazing. Hence, we've called our channel Escape to a Simpler Place and Time, because that's exactly what we feel we have done. After I'd started to write, I joined a blogging course and discovered that everyone else on the course was also making YouTube videos to enhance their blog. My little grandson, with every confidence, said, "Grandma, I will be your first subscriber." So that's how we started this YouTube channel. We now have 1,000 and nearly 800 subscribers. Bless him.